And we are live. What is going on, everyone? This is a surprise, I know, just as much to me as well. And this news just broke, and I figured I would hop on here and talk about why, what's happening, and what to expect next. By the way, I know a lot of you have a yearning for me to cover politics and current events and news. And the new year of 2026, we are absolutely going to be doing that. And so for those of you that haven't seen, the United States is now conducting military action and operations in Venezuela. They have, it looks like, thrown missiles in there, helicopters, drones, planes, you name it. It's happening. And you have to sit here and wonder why. What's going on? What the hell are we doing? First of all, I'm an independent. For those of you that don't know, I'm not conservative Republican, not liberal Democrat, just trying to call it how it is. And the coverage you get here is unscripted, unbiased, and I'm not bought and paid for. I'm just reacting to this very much like you're seeing it on your timeline. And I just saw this on X, and I saw a lot of people commenting about it and people's grievances. And here's my position. None of us want to see military action in a country that we don't need to be in. Now, the administration claims that, well, we need to be in there to get our oil back, to get and take the oil from a regime that is considered illegitimate now. It has been overthrown to an extent. And the president, Nicolas Maduro, will be on the run here pretty soon, especially after this military intervention that just happened within the last hour or two. And you have to wonder the intention, the reasoning as to why we're here. Now, you can make the argument and claim oil, and that's what a lot of these media and news outlets are saying. But there's also another element, and the element I talk about a lot with other segments that we do here on this show that don't even pertain to this topic, but it's very interesting how they all tie back to the same thing. Diversion, you being hypnotized, you just waking up, buying whatever they sell you, and moving on to the next cycle. There's something else happening that they want to distract you from, divert you from, and Venezuela is the easiest thing to do, to go in, infiltrate the country, take the oil, overthrow the regime, and then dress it up as some dutiful thing that we needed to do to make the world safe and prosperous. That's how the administration will line it and draw it up, I promise. The problem is the president ran on no new wars. That's been his mantra. That's been his thing. And it's very important for all of us to understand the Trump of 2016 and the Trump of 2026. The Trump of 2016 pretty much put up all of his own money. He took very few dollars, and that's just a little tangent there, a few dollars from some lobby, special interest, some groups, but not really. He was putting up everything. In 24, when he was running and trying to get reelected, he needed to accept money from everybody because of what had happened once he left office the first time. The investigations, putting him in court, the indictments, call him a felon, right? And Trump needed to win 2024 in order to stay out of prison. Why? Well, and all these cases were phony and blah, 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 and it didn't really matter. No, it did. And there's one case I think about specifically. Classified documents case out of Florida, out of Mar-a-Lago. And for those of you that are diehard Trump supporters, MAGA, that whole deal, you could claim, well, it was wrong and they shouldn't have did it. We're not talking about that. The facts of the situation are these. The former president at the time had declassified documents at his home, or at least that was the report, or allegedly, right? You have to use that word to remain quote unquote safe when you talk about something, report something, which the news is starting to do more of, but they used to not do it. Anyway, that was the report. And a lot of you that are harsh, staunch supporters of the president will use the, oh, well, he was president, so he declassified these documents. Even if that was true, it is illegal to have national security, national defense information at your residence, in your presence, when you are not sitting an active president. And this would have landed him in jail for a very long time. All the other things were distractions and diversions, as I mentioned a lot about here on this show. But that was the one that they needed to put him away for a while. So the reason I bring that up is because in order for him to win 24, he was taking money from everybody. Anywhere, anybody, that's what he did. Even people that were vowing support for other candidates, once they realized Trump was the guy, they threw all their money at him. And he wasn't going to say no. He went the route of influencers. He went on every podcast. He did it all, right? We talk about it often. You guys know this. But it's important to understand the origin story of the guy that went from at one point being America first, we don't need to be involved in other wars, other countries, etc., to now, I believe he's fully compromised. And the reason I say that is the last, what will be coming up on a year since he has been inaugurated has been pretty much everything like that. Outside of the first 3 months, where he was throwing executive orders, shutting down the border, trying to just reverse a lot of craziness from the previous administration, the next 9 and what it has been have been a lot of shortcomings. And it takes someone to sit down that is not bought and paid for, that is not affiliated to a party, to just look at the data and look at what it is. And I'll make the case, and I know a lot of people are doing this right now, but it's true. He's not, the number one thing he ran on, of course, was immigration, economy, ending wars, right? And the thing that the administration uses, oh, we've ended 8 or 9 wars, right? I think it's 8. No one cares about these small countries. Let's just keep it 1,000 that the wars get ended. That's like stat padding in a basketball game. Nobody cares, really. Unless you're in that country involved to some extent, it doesn't really matter. You can say, wait, you don't know what you're talking about. It matters for strategic position and allies. It's just stat padding. Let's just keep that 1,000. Now, Russia-Ukraine matters. That's still going on. Israel-Iran, that's a problem. Well, look what happened in Gaza. That's a problem. So you have all these major conflicts going on, and we want to go into Venezuela for some oil? Now, I understand the petrodollar, and for a lot of you that don't know what that is, pop it up on the screen here. It's pretty weak. And the administration's position is, well, if we go and get this oil back, we can keep control of it, its strength, and actually make it better. But also, if we are that down bad as a country to where we need to go into South America, into Venezuela, and take this oil, which they're using that as the front and the cover. I'm not saying that's not a component, but there's something else deeper there that we're not being told. It's a problem. I really don't know anybody that even like the harshest and most staunch supporters of him will just choose to ignore this or be like, oh, well, our 401k's up, or he got gas down, or he did this. And I'm not discrediting some of the things that have been done that are good, but you got to call it fair. I mean, what are we doing here? Like, why are we sitting here being homers for someone that's affecting you and I's lives? So it's wild. And I would love to show some of what has been happening, but I don't want to get hit with copyright. And we tried to do that, actually just recorded before this. And we lost the recording. I don't know. Maybe it was a sign to not do it. But X, Twitter, has been wild. You're seeing people that are in apartments, high rises, all of the bombings that have been happening, all the fire, all the fury. It's been pretty bad. And my opinion on this is that Venezuela doesn't really have the artillery, the manpower, the strategic ability to compete with the United States. I don't think that's in questions. If they actually do want to challenge the country, it won't be for very long. But I just don't see a winning proposition here other than the administration's trying to divert from all the other bullshit that they've messed up on. But then why involve yourselves in another war, which is not really going to be a war. We're going to outpower them, outman them, but leave them alone. Yeah, prayers to Venezuela, prayers to everybody that is there. This is super unfortunate. I could promise you people in America did not vote for this. And, I love the liberals that are like, oh, well, ha, 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 blah, 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 infighting. I'm not a liberal, conservative, Republican, Democrat. I'm just an independent person that's not bought and paid for, that's calling it how I see it. And that's how it has to be going forward. And, yeah, you have to be able to acknowledge the good and the bad. And one thing I'm going to leave you on, and this will continue to happen, I wanted to just kind of come in here, break down why it's happening, who's behind it, and that whole ordeal. One of the first people to do it, by the way. So give me some credit. It is the middle of the night when this broke, and I'm getting on here as fast as I can after losing the first recording. So, yeah, media is wild. I want you guys to understand something because there's been a lot of things going on when it comes to immigration, ICE, that whole thing. There's a large group of people that are pushing well, this is immoral, this is not good. If you come into our country and you break the law by entering our country, it is illegal. So there's two things I want all of you at home watching or listening to this to take away from this outside of what I have been talking about. And I want to make sure I get this right. I'm going to read this very specifically. 2 key legal distinctions you need to be able to make if someone talks to you about ICE. Now, a lot of these people still won't listen. They're going to be emotion driven. Fine. So if you legally enter the country the first time, okay, unlawful entry, it's considered a misdemeanor. I believe it's fines, and you can go to prison for up to 6 months. That's a misdemeanor. 8 U.S.C. 1325. Now, this is where people get in a lot of trouble. So they come into the country, they get caught by the border patrol, and they get sent back. They try to re-enter, okay? Unlawful re-entry is considered a felony. So if you try to enter the first time and they catch you, they nail you. Misdemeanor, slap on the wrist, fine. You maybe go to jail for 6 months, up to 6 months in prison, 8 U.S.C. 1325. The unlawful re-entry, okay, and this is what people don't talk about. They need to talk about it more just because this is basic facts. These are the laws. These are U.S. codes. Unlawful re-entry is a felony. After being removed once, you can be fined again, more severe penalties. It's a felony, and you can go to prison for up to 2 years under that current law. That is 8 USC 1326. I know it's a lot of numbers, a lot of acronym, etc. Two things you need to remember: 8 USC 1325 and 8 USC 1326. 1325 is entering the first time and then being sent back, misdemeanor, fine, up to 6 months in prison. 8 USC 1326 is where they're re-entering. That's a felony. So these people that are saying, oh, well, ICE is immoral, they shouldn't be doing this, blah, blah, blah. It is illegal, okay? And these people in the media that are bought and paid for, they're trying to sell emotion, they're trying to sell clicks. We're just selling the harsh truth. That's what we do here at Standing on Pod. So yeah, that's the breakdown. You need to understand that because, Trump's not writing new laws to be like, oh, well, we need to kick these people out. He's enforcing current law that was there under Biden that he did not enforce. They actually just flooded it. It was there under Trump the first time. They're under Obama. It's been there. Okay. So just a little bit of education here today. No one really talks about this. This is incredibly important. And I wanted to come on here and cover it. So it looks like we are in some sort of a conflict with Venezuela. I do not agree with it. I don't know why we don't leave it alone. Our country should not be in that bad of a position, especially with the petrodollar, to where we need to go into Venezuela and take their oil. You're kidding. And I don't even really think I don't even think it's about the oil. I think there's other stuff going on that they're not being transparent with you and I about that they're doing. So yeah, so far, and who knows, I'll correct the record in the future if I have to. But as it looks right now, and they've confirmed, I think as of maybe 20 minutes ago, and I want to give you guys the full honest scoop as of what's been happening. X has, like I said, been crazy. Yeah, so the latest as we wrap, is it seems to be that it is confirmed that they did this, and Trump just tweeted. We need to be able to confirm this tweet as of 20 minutes ago. So Trump tweets, the United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured. Wow, they captured him and his wife and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 a.m. at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Wow. So they got him. Whoa. So there's a bunch of people in the comments saying, well, this is not on Trump's Twitter. Is this real? Is this not? Bro, I hate media because some account that is verified that has like 400,000 on Twitter reposted this thing of Trump. I don't know if you guys can see this, but reposted this thing that the Trump posted on Truth. That's insane. All right, we're going to wrap right now, but we're going to confirm this right now because I'm not giving y'all fake news. There's no way they captured Maduro, bro. There is no way. Get this ad the hell out of here. All right, here we go. So why isn't it showing tweets? All right, found Trump's Truth. Here we go. Did I just get ball sacked? For those of you that don't know, that's an NBA Twitter account that reports fake news about stories. Okay, no. So sorry, everybody, but I'm going to do this right now because this is incredibly important so you guys can see this. So here's what I've been talking about. I just read that tweet. This is official. As of 4:21 in the morning, it is about 20 minutes past that at this point. So they got him. This is the very important part, everybody. President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. All right, my initial thoughts to him being quote unquote captured and flown out of the country, that's a little weird for a place they want to do regime change. Like that tells me that there had to have been conversations that have been happening about this to where, let me come back to see you guys. There had to have been, I want to make sure this layout doesn't get screwed up either. Sorry, everybody. We're back. That tells me that there has had to have been some communication, which we know that there has about this. But I find it hard to believe that they would go and bomb and send missiles if this was a coordinated, we're going to capture it. It sounds like they went in and got him. I don't know if he knew it was happening. I don't know if it was coordinated. It doesn't sound like it. But my gut instinct tells me that there's not going to be war now. So maybe disregard what I just talked about because that leader who is, and let me get her name right because she is actually... where is she? And she won the Peace Prize, the Nobel Peace Prize that they thought they were going to give to Trump. So Maria Corina Machado, who I assume will now assume, sorry for the overword use, she will now assume the presidency in Venezuela. That's what that sounds like. I cannot believe they went in and got him. That's crazy. So here she is, everybody. This is her. She has been the person that was elected by the people there. They have been wanting her to be the president for a while. And yeah, let's get out of this view. So that's what she looks like. She's been very outspoken. She's had to be in hiding for a while. Um, wow. So the position, like I mentioned, it seems like she's going to take over leadership. I guess they successfully did regime change in a few hours. I mean, I don't know. There's going to be more to come with this. I know Trump tweeted, and he put in that tweet, I know you guys just saw on the screen, that at 11 a.m., so you guys will probably have already seen it. Who knows? There'll be probably new information with news. But at 11 a.m., there's going to be a press conference about it. So I don't know what's coming out of it, but maybe a little bit of overreaction for me. But still, like, we don't need to be sending missiles into places. Like, just let's stay out of it. We don't need to be involved. We have so much corruption and fraud happening here at home in the United States. We don't need that. So, yeah, you guys saw me break news here on the show. I didn't even plan to do that. So, when we went live originally, Trump must have just tweeted that this happened. I cannot believe, guys. President Nicolas Maduro, who has been, along with his wife, captured. Okay, so that wasn't coordinated, and flown out of the country. Where they're taking them, they're not going to say probably. I don't know. Are they going to put this guy on trial? I don't know. Maybe they'll expedite him to like China or Russia, and he'll be in some sort of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word right now. It's pretty late. Sorry, everybody. It's been a day. But he'll lay there and live there in asylum. I think that's the word. He'll claim asylum there. Um, but yeah, wow, they got him. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. But regardless, like, we shouldn't be doing this shit. This is stupid. And that's my position. You got to be able to be critical of these leaders, especially when you potentially vote for them, not vote for them. And like I said, and I'll end it on this, I'm an independent person, not bought and paid for by anybody. This is my own channel, my own network. And yeah, we talk about the news and we'll continue to cover it. Thank you all for being here so much. Hope you have a great and safe rest of your weekend. And I will talk to all of you later.